Ladies, when you connect with a really desirable guy over an online dating app, you need to understand and do things a little bit differently. I'm going to talk about that coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, I want to speak to you ladies out there who are connecting with these high quality men from Tinder or other online dating platforms. And I want to help you better understand so that you can succeed better, because if you treat them like every other guy, you will not succeed, because there are major differences that I want to help you better understand. We're going to cover that in this video. But first, let me remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your current love life experiences online or in person, then I invite you to join my free Love Life Academy for video lessons and other opportunities and resources that are all designed to help you level up your love life. So if you're serious about making that positive impact, click the link in the description below. Okay, so ladies, first of all, follow me on just our very subjective and bland general description of high quality men, because, yeah, are we going to ever agree on a definition of that? No, it's too subjective. So let's kind of get on the same playing ground or playing field, okay? So let's kind of just use the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule. So for us, that'll kind of tell us that within the online dating population of men, that there is a top 20% that everyone kind of believes or treats like they are high quality, because these top 20% of the men get 80% of the action, 80% of the attention, the conversations, the matches, the dates, that just all of it. This top 20% crushes it. So I'm going to refer to this top 20% as being high quality, all right? So that's what we'll kind of consider. Now, let's better understand this top 20%, these high quality men. I need you to understand, first of all, that well, they are not like other men. All right, so I know you ladies out there in the regular dating world and in the online dating world, you're used to being the selector. All right, you're used to having so much attention from men that you get to be like, no, 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 yes, maybe, no, 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 maybe, no, no, yes, no, no. You get to be the selector. With online dating, for sure, average to above average women are just crushing it with lots of attention, lots of opportunities, so many that they can't keep up, okay? That's fair. All right, so here's the thing. This top 20% is basically having the experience of these average and above average women with online dating, meaning they can't keep up with everything. All right. So if you think that these guys are just like so thrilled to just get a match or a connection with somebody or a good conversation, you need to know that they have so many opportunities. Like their inbox is overflowing. They're always getting new matches. And even while you're messaging them, they're getting notifications for new messages, new matches, whatever, you know? You need to understand that. You need to understand that for them, you will need to compete. And if you don't want to compete, if you don't want to send a first message, if you don't want to send a good message, if you don't want to ever make the first move, or if you don't want to be like, well, if he's thinking of me, like he would have messaged by now, whatever, it's a little bit of a different ball game where you will have to be more proactive, more competitive, and not just lay back and think like everything good is going to happen to me and I don't need to do anything because I'm the woman. Not with these guys. Now, could it work sometimes with these guys? Well, sure. But in general, that will not be a very rewarding practice. So I want to let you know of that. So these guys are getting so many matches, they can't keep up. And no, they will not message every connection. That's something that a lot of you women out there get so confused about, because you're like, I matched with this really amazing guy. He's got a great profile. He's so good looking. He's got a lot going on. And you'll be like, we matched. And then you just wait. And then you're just waiting. And then days later, you're like, oh, this guy hasn't matched me yet. What's the fucking deal? Well, the deal is he doesn't have to really match and connect with everyone. So he's got matches that he will never send a message to because he's behind, because he doesn't need to, because he forgets, because he doesn't, because maybe Tinder isn't, say, his only online dating profile. Think about this, ladies. A top 20% guy. Do you think he just is like, well, I'm crushing it, so let me just stick to Tinder? Fuck no. A guy who's doing well on Tinder goes to Bumble, goes to Hinge, goes to Facebook Dating, goes to Match.com, whatever. Don't expect a guy who's crushing it to limit himself. If he's crushing it one way, he'll crush it in another place too. It's like saying, well, if you can make $10, then you're happy with $10. No, the guy who's happy with $10 is happy with making $10 over and over and over. Bottom line is, you're thinking that guys are going to limit themselves, and they're not. So that's something I want you to understand. And with these guys, they're not always going to message first. So yes, if you do want to compete, I do recommend that you message them first. But regarding messaging and conversation, I think that you should often think about considering first messaging first, and then two, making sure that it's a good message because that's the next thing that you do wrong. If you message first, so many out there are doing what you hate that men do to you, sending you a shitty opening message. And here's what it is. Hi, hey, how are you? What's up? What are you up to? How's your day going? Any luck on here? That sort of thing. All of that shit is boring, not creative, uninspiring, and doesn't really make somebody think like, wow, what a great conversation is waiting for me. All right. This is the same shit that you do to guys. All right. Because you ladies out there, it takes you like all of like a week to get sick of hi, hey, how are you? And honestly, as an adult, you've already gotten to that point. All right, so everybody's watching this video, all you ladies out there are sick of those types of messages. So why are you sending them to guys? I'll tell you why. Because you don't actually know how to message a guy first. Okay, you don't know how to kind of find something in his profile or find something that will just stand out and get his attention. But you need to be able to because you can't send these boring messages. And the other reason that you're sending these boring, lame, messages is because you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to get fully rejected. It's one thing to get rejected if you don't try, or it's one thing to get rejected if you put in a shitty effort like, hi. And then you're like, well, shit, like that guy never messaged me back. Well, you can feel good because you didn't really invest yourself. You really didn't put all of yourself into like really creating a thoughtful sort of message that would better resonate. You didn't put enough effort into it so that you would feel some sting if you're rejected. All right, or so much of a sting. And that's the thing. You can't win without risk. All right, you don't get the reward without the risk. And you do have to risk opening up, being vulnerable, saying something that you think will maybe stand out, maybe it lands, maybe it doesn't, maybe he gets it, maybe he doesn't, but you still have to risk and be vulnerable. So that's something that a lot of you are struggling to do. So, in your opening messages or in your conversations, you need to keep that in mind. Like, shit, how do I keep his attention? Because if the conversation is terrible, well, why would he want to continue the conversation? Why would he want to meet you in person? So, yes, you do need to make sure that you are participating in the conversation, making it better, adding value, and making him want to respond. All right. What you need to do ultimately, when it comes to succeeding with these men who are, we're kind of classifying them as top 20%, high quality men, we need them to think one thing. We need them to perceive of you as being their equal or maybe above them. All right. They need to perceive of you as also being like top 20% and highly desirable. All right. Because your conversation is so good, because your online dating profile, the pics that you selected just really represented you so well and made a good impression, because your written content was so prepared and calculated that you really highlighted all the best of you. And that in your conversation, from opening message or to the first message that you responded to from him, that you were someone that he wanted to engage with, that it was offering him something, some value in continuing that interaction. Ultimately, that's what you're trying to do. You want him to, one, perceive of you as being that top 20% or that high value. And then two, you want him to either message you first or be open to the opening message that you send him. And then maybe third, we want him to continue his interest in you and continue developing the connection, which hopefully, is, something that works for the both of you. And then it goes from wherever it goes. But that's what I want you to understand about these high quality men that you're matching with on Tinder or various other online dating platforms. You need to be competitive. You need to understand that they have options. You need to understand that they're not going to be the same sort of guys who will maybe message you over and over or wait for you or not wait for you to message. Like, it's a very different experience. And a lot of women, they think that they can do the same thing with any guy as they do with like a guy that looks like a model or a guy that just has an outstanding profile. I mean, we all have seen profiles where we'd be like, oh shit, that guy is like good looking and he's got a great profile. He's got great pictures. He's got a great lifestyle on display. There seems to be a lot to get to know and appreciate about this guy. We all can kind of think of those profiles. Well, what you need to understand about them is just that they're not going to be the same as every other guy that you might have been dealing with. All right. The things that you have to do, you have to step it up. All right. And that's something that know you ladies out there, you're not as comfortable doing, but you have to if you want to succeed in this online dating world when you're connecting with this top 20%. You all out there, let me know your thoughts, what are your experiences, And, what part of this may have resonated the most or the least with you. I'd love to know. As always, I want you to remember that if you want to get better results, you have to become better. See you in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're ready to level up your love life, take 30 seconds to visit my website right now. Join my free academy. I'll send you exclusive content and invitations to participate in my online group conference calls. And if you're ready for serious change, sign up for a free barrier breakthrough phone call with me.